You decide, right now, to just stop. No cigarette, no phone, no late-night snack, pure willpower, starting today, no exceptions, no negotiating. And somehow, by tomorrow, the urge isn't fainter, it's louder than it was yesterday, like refusing it fed it something. Why does telling yourself just don't so often backfire into wanting it more? Cold turkey is treated as the gold standard of quitting. The assumption is that stopping instantly, completely, through sheer refusal is the strongest, most disciplined possible move, and anything gentler is basically cheating. If it doesn't work, the story goes, you simply didn't want it badly enough, and the fix is to want it more and refuse harder next time. It's a clean, moralistic story, willpower as a muscle you either have or don't. But psychologists who study thought and behavior suppression found something almost the opposite of what we'd expect from that story. In 1987, psychologist Daniel Wegner ran what's now called the white bear experiment. He told participants not to think about a white bear for 5 minutes, and the harder they tried to suppress it, the more the thought kept intruding, both during the attempt itself and, strangely, even more so afterward, once the instruction to suppress it was lifted. He called this ironic process theory. The very act of monitoring for a thought in order to suppress it requires keeping a small part of your mind scanning for exactly that thought, which keeps it active in the background the entire time you're supposedly avoiding it. This isn't limited to bears either. The same rebound shows up whenever people are told to suppress emotions, cravings, or unwanted memories under controlled conditions. That's half the story. The other half comes from a completely different research thread entirely: habit reversal training, first tested by Nathan Azrin and Gregory Nunn back in 1973, originally for tics and other nervous habits. Instead of telling people to simply stop a behavior through willpower alone, they trained a specific competing response, something physically incompatible with the old behavior, to run in its place automatically. The method has 3 core components: noticing the urge earlier than usual, building clear awareness of exactly when and where it tends to strike, and practicing the substitute response until it becomes just as automatic as the habit it's replacing. Decades of clinical replication since then confirm it. Substitution reliably outperforms pure suppression for breaking a habit, and it's now a first-line treatment for tics, nail biting, and hair pulling in behavioral therapy. One honest caveat here, worth being precise about. The suppression rebound effect is real and well replicated in short, controlled lab studies, but a 2001 meta-analysis found it's smaller and considerably more inconsistent outside the lab, especially for long-running, high-stakes habits like addiction, where relapse has many contributing causes layered together, not just a single rebounding thought bouncing back. Things like environmental cues, social context, and physiological dependence all layer on top of simple suppression too, which is part of why quitting nicotine or alcohol cold turkey is so much harder in practice than quitting a smaller, lower-stakes habit the same way. Suppression isn't guaranteed to backfire every single time you try it. It's simply the weaker bet, on average, when you stack it against giving the urge somewhere else to go instead of nowhere at all. If suppression keeps a craving circling endlessly in the background, while substitution actually gives it somewhere concrete to land, then the goal was never really stop wanting it in the first place. That was always the wrong target. The real goal is having something specific and genuinely ready to do instead. Decided before the urge even shows up, not a vague promise of willpower summoned in the moment, but an actual competing action, already queued up in advance, waiting to take the old one's place. This also explains why so many quit attempts fail in the exact same way. You spend all your energy resisting, and none of it preparing. So when the moment actually arrives, there's nothing standing in the old habit's way except sheer, unsustainable effort. Before you try to quit anything cold, pick the exact specific thing you'll do instead the next time the urge hits. Not the vague instruction to resist it, but a real, concrete action, decided now, ready to go the moment you need it. Write it down somewhere you'll actually see it in the moment, not just in your head, where it's easy to forget under pressure, but somewhere physical, or on your phone, exactly where the urge tends to strike. Habit reversal training works precisely because the substitute is chosen calmly, in advance, while you're not in the grip of the urge, not improvised on the spot, in the exact moment you're weakest and least equipped to invent a good plan.